So I love that song. There's some beautiful lyrics. And what I loved when I heard the song for the first time anew was when I really listened to the lyrics. It's very much in line, in harmony, and in sync with so much of what we teach as a philosophy. Each day I live, I want to be the very best, or a day to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. We believe, we preach, we speak, we believe in oneness. The interconnectivity of everything, of each and every person in this room, in each and every object, wherever they may be. I want a moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. We are stardust. I am that more. And when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away. That close. And they're all up to me. In this teaching, what we know, what we believe is ours to have. It's ours for the taking. Carpe diem, as we say. You are a winner if you seize that one moment in time, make it shine. So Eckhart Tolle, in The Power of Now, writes, have you ever experienced anything, thought, or felt anything outside of the now? It's a good question. Nothing has ever happened in the past. It happened in the now. Nothing will ever happen in the future. It will happen in the now, in the blink of an eye. The power of the now, the empowerment of staying connected. Give me one moment in time. Give me the now. When I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away, give me now. When I'm racing with destiny, not racing against destiny. We do teach about destiny. Destiny is exactly how I think, how I feel, and what I do. We are the creator of our own destiny. So we're in race, we're in relationship, moving towards and with, in harmony with our destiny. Then in that one moment of now, I will be free. Freedom. To me, that is the ultimate benchmark of empowerment. And then moving on to the video. That's by a visual artist, composer. He goes by the name Melody Sheep. He's up in Seattle. I reached out to him a month ago, 6 weeks ago, saying, I have an idea. We'll be speaking at a New Thought Center. And he said, great, go for it. So again, thank you, Melody Sheep, for allowing us to use this. We are stardust. There's a mantra that I used to use, and I think it's sort of fitting for here. So I invite you, if you're inclined, to join in with me. I am here. I am here as the collective power of the entire universe. I am here as the collective power of the entire universe. I am here. I am here. I am the universe. Verse. So thank you. So the title of my talk is The Cosmic Wink. It's so interesting. Back in the days, it was so easy to read people's facial expressions, you know, where you can just communicate, you look and see them, and then there was Botox. So then it was like, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry? I don't really know. And now we sit in this room the last year and a half, and we're masked. It gives us a new opportunity to connect with people, to really look, but it's through the eyes. I may be going a little off script today. My stepfather is, I got a call yesterday, is nearing end of life, and so all of the children are being sort of summoned up. So I will be driving up to see my family this afternoon. And this morning they took him back into the emergency room. And so I know the truth, and I'm grateful that I'll be able to spend time with them. But it made me think of, when we're talking about the eyes, I see you. We're so used to reading statistics, intensive care unit. But what if we allow ourselves to go back to, but I see you. Through the mask, I see you. What if we can go to in consciousness, unified, in community, uplifted, in curiosity, unbound? Whether masks, whether Botox, I see you. They say that the eyes is the window to the soul. And I gotta admit, I'm kind of tired. I do feel at times just worn down. And my life is great. I'm so incredibly grateful. I feel so privileged to have the opportunity to be in this community and to be speaking. And sometimes when I don't remember who I am, I feel that my soul is just tired. So I'm grateful that I'm going on a retreat. On February, I'll be flying to Kauai to do a spiritual retreat with Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick. And it's something that I just feel like I need to recharge and replenish, re-empower the soul, which I know is already powered, but I need to remember it. And it actually reminded me of a retreat that I did a number of years ago. And I didn't know what exactly I was going to. I knew the name of the retreat was The Mystical Explosion. Ooh. And I knew it was at a Buddhist retreat center up in Santa Cruz. So Friday afternoon, after work, went to LAX, to catch the flight. And I was going through carry-on bags, and they're going through, and they stop me. They pull me aside, and they pull out my flashlight. And they said, "Oh, you can't bring this with you on the plane." I said, "Oh, no, I'm going on a spiritual retreat." And they said, "Yeah, no. You can either check it or you can leave it behind." I said, "No, I'm going on a spiritual retreat. This is my source of illumination." And they said, "No. We see it as a weapon." So that in itself I thought was an interesting dichotomy, illumination or a weapon. It's all about the perception. So I found myself at a threshold point. Do I cling to what I know, or do I let go and step into the unknown? And literally, it was that moment. It was a moment in time where, what's it going to be? And so I let go of what I was attached to, what I knew. In that moment, I was willing to step into the unknown. And it was a remarkable retreat. And the second day into it, there was a really beautiful session that we did, guided meditation. And I think it was sacred forgiveness. And I found myself going really deep into the meditation. But they basically asked us, in your mind's eye, go to that place where you've ever been harmed, where you've ever been hurt, and see that person and bring them in and forgive them, share love with them, and then the next, and then the next. And I don't remember how long that meditation went, but I do remember having this overwhelmed feeling of just seeing the sea of humanity. It was like on the horizon, I just see silhouettes of people. And then when the meditation ended, the leader turned to me and said, "Eric, what did you experience?" And I said, I don't know if I'm really back into my body yet. And so he went on to someone else to debrief, and then he came back to me. I said, I don't know. He said, the only reason why I'm asking you is because at one point I looked over and I could see a beam of light from your crown chakra up to the ceiling. That scared the shit out of me. To be honest, sorry, bleep, Thor, if you can bleep that out. But there was that moment of remember who you are, to be recognized for the power that we are. It was something that I always was, I imagine, that we all always are, but sometimes it's the recognition of I see you. I see the power, I see the beauty, I see the joy in who you are. And for me, it was that moment of, oh, I was so attached to a flashlight, a little flash, a little half watt of energy, of light and illumination. That's what I was clinging to. That's what I was going through my life, saying that this is my illumination. When in reality, when we remember who we are, I am a beacon. You are a beacon. We are the entire universe, the light. It's interesting. Ernest Holmes in 1926 wrote, and this is the first line in the textbook, we look forward to the day when science and religion will walk hand in hand from the visible to the invisible. So that was 1926. In 1950, on his Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon radio show, Ernest Holmes said, so Dr. Albert Einstein feels he has found the one law governing all physical phenomena. If so, it is the one of the greatest and most important discoveries of all time. But what has this got to do with our subject, this thing called life, or the possibility of using a power for good greater than you are? Or as Emerson would say, there is one common mind to all man. Albert Einstein also said that time and space and light curve back on themselves. He had an experience with the flashlight as well, but it was an experiment. If you turn on a flashlight and you point it towards the wall, the light actually starts to curve down. And from that, he realized the effect of gravity, but ultimately what you put out always curves around and comes back to you. From the invisible to the visible. And that was, E equals MC squared, the theory of special relativity. I was curious, E being energy equals M being mass. So what's the C? What's the C squared? And the C squared is the constant. And the constant is the light. But if we already established, I am the light. You are the light. We are the constant. We are the empowerment of the entire universe right here, right now. Then time and space, they're interchangeable and they can just dissolve. So I've had a couple moments in time, and this is where I may go off script a little bit. If time is an illusion, there have been a couple of times in my life where I've experienced, it's as if time just collapses. Has anyone had that experience? Where sometimes the past, the present, the future, they all sort of join together and you just, again, have a moment in time. And one of those moments I remember is Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, June 14th, 2005. And I remember the moment, and it's one of those things where I'm like, it makes no logical sense, and I know there's something to pay attention to. So I had a mastermind call with 6 or 8 people, and we were having a really deep, profound conversation of what are my biggest dreams? What are my hopes? What is mine to do? It was a really powerful moment of projecting into the future. but with such raw emotion that there were a lot of tears, there were a lot of emotion. And then I had to go to work, and my stepsister, Carrie, had gone into labor a day and a half before, a little premature. So I called and checked in with them, and I called, and her husband, Alex, picked up the phone, and I'm like, how's everything going? And then it was silence. And then tears. They had just lost their baby. Dreams crushed for them. And then within probably 15 minutes later, I got a call from Aunt Audrey in New York. Tears again. But this time because she found out she was going to be a grandmother for the very first time. And what I realized in that moment is the interconnectivity of all things. I've had the privilege of holding my mother's hand as she took her last breath. I've had the privilege of sitting down with a dear friend as her marriage dissolved and saying, I know nothing. But standing in that knowing of what I do know is tomorrow morning the sun is going to come up. At that time it was at 6:27. And sometimes that's all we need to know. And so the cosmic wink is, to me, that knowingness, that blink of an eye, that realization that sometimes there's something to be known and we can tap into it in an instant from the divine. I try not to kid myself and go into, oh, life is all good. It's all really happy and joy and beauty and all that other sort of spiritual stuff that we love to talk. That's there. But then there's also at times the mundane. There's sometimes the painful, the shameful, the grief. That's real as well. Albert Einstein, and his theory of relativity. I like to go to Ernest Holmes and his theory of the absolute. The relative is the absolute at the level of the relative. That was a turning point for this teaching for me. The mundane, the grief, the anger, that's God too. That's remembering who I am. That's real. There was a lot of times where I didn't want to look at that, and so I'd suppress it and tap it down really deep. But I've come to the realization that even in that, tapping down and suppressing turned that manure into something that really supported me and has enabled me to grow into the person that I am. That's the relative experience of day-to-day life. And equally existent is the absolute, is the beauty, is the joy, is the power, is the forgiveness, is the love. And I'm so incredibly grateful to be able to drive home this afternoon, to really step in and lean into our vision statement, to love only, to forgive everything, and to remember who I am for my father, my stepfather, for myself, and then it's kind of like rinse and repeat, because I know that as soon as I do that, it's time to love even more, and to forgive any more, and to remember who I am, remember who he is. Because 15 years ago, when I did that meditation retreat, it's when I loved and forgave and remembered. That's when I first recognized the power and the light that I am. So thank you for this time. I love you. You are powerful beyond all means. And that's the cosmic wink to all of us. Namaste.